Morning, beautiful. It's great to see you. Here I am all lopsided. It is good to be outside in this beautiful space. Let me show you what the autumn, the fall, depending on your words, is doing here. Let's look at a glowing yellow leaf because I just love the sheer beauty of just one fallen leaf, you know. Let's just enjoy some of this. Just the colours. Look at that one with the green still in it. The camera can get the focus sorted out. That would be nice. Not happening yet, I'm afraid. Oh, there you go. It's just beautiful. Good morning, beautiful person. People, I can see you all coming on, but Facebook hasn't told me who you are. Heather, good morning. I think you have to hit the like or the love for me to know who you are. I haven't worked it out. But it's lovely to see you all jumping on as we tour the late flowers. Hello, Timothy. It's great to see you. Got a few roses. Jen, good morning. What else have we got? Oh, look. You see, I don't prune the roses. Morning, Julian. Lovely to see you. So we've got some rose hips. They're just starting to blush. Hello, Sanchia. Good morning, Nora. So we have the fuchsia that I should have pruned. Oh my goodness, look. The buttercups are invading. See the buttercups? They're invading the violets. It's actually relatively easy to get buttercups out of things because they're quite contiguous. I need to do a little weeding here. But look, the foliage is wonderful. It's just green and lush, even though it's been chewed. You know, it's fabulous. What else have we got? The last of the thalictrum foliage, which I still just adore. Come on, camera, sort the focus out. There we go. Now you can see it. You can see why I love it. It's beautiful. And let's not forget the wonderful, glorious, bright Orcuba plant. Orcuba bush. Yeah, I love foliage because it doesn't disappear. And in the background you can see that the cotinus is losing its leaves. They don't go bright yellow or anything, they go this sort of bronze colour and then they go red. And it's quite wonderful. So this is the fall garden. This is a monster. Oh look, it's going to flower again in the middle of winter. See, there's a flower head coming up, I think. I don't know, it might just be growing. It's a mad thing, and I planted a new one here because the other one died, so, you know, it's crazy. And look at all these sporaxis coming up through its last year's growth. I always find this so lush. I think it's almost time to cut the gladiolus down. I did a brave thing. I let this one run to seed. I'm probably going to have an invasion. But look at the seed head. Okay, I've managed to confuse the camera. Let's try and get this in focus. There you go. Now you can see. So, yeah, this is actually a gladiolus that makes seeds, and I decided I want a few more of them. It'll be a great experiment because I don't know what it's crossed with. So time will tell. So today, you probably, if you've been with me, and I know all of you have been, you know we've been playing with heart coherence and imagining our futures and, you know, not just imagining, creating, sensing, getting into, embodying. Hi Faye, lovely to see you. We've been doing that all week, and we started last week actually. We started with heart coherence, and I hope that you've been playing with heart coherence. I mean, you sort of, if you've been practicing as we've gone along, you realise this is actually simple. It is not hard. The challenging part is the effort of will that it takes to decide to do it. When you're in the middle of everything, or when you're not in the middle of everything, is actually a much better idea, you know. Why wait for it to be difficult? Why don't you practice when it's easy? It only takes 5 minutes, really. Put your attention on your heart, breathe in and out of it, generate some positive, elevated feelings, and you're going to feel better. You really are. Oh, I've got to show you this. I'm going to show you that. There we go. Glowing autumn leaves. And there they are in the background too. So this is why the cherry tree doesn't get pruned until its leaves have fallen off. Right. So heart coherence is actually really simple. And it doesn't take long to make a difference. Good morning, Rhonda. It really doesn't. So, you know, I'm kind of just putting in a plug for practice. practice. In a moment, when you're drinking a cup of coffee or you're sitting on the loo or, you're walking down the street to the shops, or if you get to do that, in a moment, or you're washing the dishes. Try practicing heart coherence when you wash the dishes. You're going to enjoy yourself a whole lot more. You're going to get present with what you're doing. You're actually going to appreciate the sensation of the hot water in your hands and, and I'm taking a mess and I'm making it clean. Practice heart coherence. It's simple. The hardest thing is actually making the choice to do it, right? So, having said that, I decided that today I wanted to talk about brain coherence, because I haven't talked about that for a while, and we've sort of done a little bit of practicing the open focus, but I wanted to talk about brain coherence and open focus in the context of fear and anxiety, because for lots of people, that fear and anxiety is quite a thing. It's happening, it's going on, and it's going on, and there's all this drama in the world. And, it's very easy to get yanked in by that because it screams at you, and if you're not like me or some other people I know who just flatly refuse to look at the news and social media and all the rah-rah that goes on there. Morning, Linda! You can get really yanked into it. And so, I will mention this because a lot of people are aware of this. President Trump has done something pretty upsetting, shall we say. That's all I'm going to say. But for those of you who are in the States, you look at it and you think, oh, gee, what does that mean for me? Oh, gee, what's going to happen? Oh, and I support him, or I don't support him. And your brain is running around in tight circles, digesting all of the implications about that. Hi, Yvonne, lovely to see you. It goes in tight circles and it gets busy. And then you talk about it with your friends because it's, it's right in everybody's awareness, and busy, or wah, or whatever it is. And the brain gets very busy, and if you're fearful, somehow or other, it's going to add to the fear, because what's this going to mean for me? Or you might get angry, Either way, you're not winning. You're experiencing one of those survival emotions. The emotions that say, I have to fight, I have to flee, or I'm so scared I need to freeze. That's it. The more you put your attention on these things that create polarity and get us uptight and upset and involved and the brain becomes incoherent. Now, what do I mean by that? When you are digesting the news about what Mr. Trump has done, and your brain is flickering very quickly from the thought of, oh, I really think he should do that, to the thought of, oh, but my friend really thinks that he shouldn't do that, and oh, my neighbour is, angry about it, and oh, my kids are fighting with me about it, or whatever. Your brain goes, all these different neural networks in the brain light up, very quick succession. Now, it's the same when you are angry at your workmate and you think, oh, I'm so pissed off at them. And I remember the last time they did that. And I remember this other person that did that to me 40 years ago. And all of these different neural networks in your brain fire very rapidly. It's the same as when you're really scared about something and you're constantly, oh, is it over there? Is it over there? What's going to hurt me? Where's it going to come from next? And the brain becomes incoherent because the neural networks is a neural net for each one of those thoughts, each one of those concepts, each one of those ideas, those memories, those experiences, those possibilities, those things that you're thinking or wondering or worrying or feeling angry about. And the brain goes, it's like a big lightning storm inside your head. And so the more that happens, it's chaos in there. Those neural nets are just firing and crazy and all over the place. And that is literally, and the brain becomes incoherent because the different compartments of the brain that have those different neural networks in them, it's getting activated so quickly from A to B to Z to T to Z to U to R to K that everything disconnects. It compartmentalizes because you're constantly going from one thing to the next, from one feeling to one thought to one person to one situation, and the brain becomes incoherent. That's incoherence. And if you look at a functional brain scan of a person who is in high beta and incoherence, and it probably depends how many leads the scan has on the brain. But you see all of these lines, right? Each one of the wavy lines is the brainwave being put out by a particular part of the brain. You know, there's electrodes all over the brain. And when the person's incoherent, they're like, they're like, you know, spaghetti, all scrambled. Not that there are peaks and troughs in the waves, and they do not coincide. They are fighting each other. Hi, Gaia! Great to see you! And that's incoherence, and it feels awful. It really does. It feels like stress, it feels like fear, it feels like anger, it feels like depression, it feels like grief, it feels like sorrow that you can't get out of. All of those are very incoherent brain states. And if you think, but I've got no thoughts and no energy in my brain when I'm really, really depressed, it's still a really incoherent brain state. If you put a functional brain scan on someone who's deeply depressed, it looks the same as someone who's really angry or really scared. It's really incoherent. The brain is not communicating within itself. You have a cacophony instead of a symphony. So that is incoherence. And the thing that causes it is this narrow focus that you get when something like Mr. Trump's tweets and what's happened about all of that grabs your attention, that thing. And then the next thought fires about what it means to you or what someone else is going to say. Morning, Steph! You go from that thing to that thing to that. And you've got a very narrow focus, and it flicks from thing to thing to thing to person to situation to memory to future to whatever, and it's just going around like lightning bolts coming out of the sky, and your brain is hopping from, you know, everywhere. It's like it's hopping mad or it's hopping sad. So that feels really awful. And you have this narrow focus because you are in the same state as an antelope that's being chased by a lion, and it's only interested in protecting itself and getting away. Same situation. Therefore, you can't think clearly, and you're in fear. You're running, or you're fighting. So that's why it feels awful. Okay, and there's all the chemistry that goes with it. And just mention the chemistry. You know, you fire those fearful or angry thoughts, boom, the chemistry goes into your body, and it keeps coming because there's more lightning bolts going off in your head about how awful it all is. Boom, 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 boom. And your body feels that, and then, you know, So, we gotta open the focus. Get to the point, Maddie, before we run out of time. Nefertiti, it's beautiful to see you. So what do I mean by opening the focus? Let's just put ourselves in a teleporter and go somewhere else for a minute. Imagine that you're sitting on a beach and it's sunset and you've had the most beautiful day. And it's warm and the sea is calm and you can hear the sound of the waves and they're gentle and there's a, you know, maybe you're in the tropics and there's a lovely breeze, but you're not sweating, you're not at all uncomfortable, it's really peaceful, you're feeling at peace with the world, you're feeling at ease, everything is just, oh. Now when you're like that, you're not looking for danger, are you? You're not focused on a problem. You're not obsessing about the fact that a certain person did a certain thing and is now saying, oh, I'm going to change something because I don't like the world being, you know, the world. I want to make it my world and not anyone else's. You're not focusing on that. And instead, you're just at peace. You're hearing the sound of the waves. Maybe you're hearing the sound of the seagulls, if there are, you know, or the sound of, maybe there's traffic on a road behind you, and you're just aware of all of this stuff at the same time. And your focus is actually in the space around you. And that is an example of open focus that we all do quite automatically. Oh, Nora, don't even go looking. I am sorry I had to make you wonder what the hell did Trump do. Trump, by the way, I'm just going to stick my neck out and please, you know, this is just my thought. He's just an expression of a consciousness, and when we all change our consciousness, it'll change. Okay, it's up to us. He's just a mirror. So don't get involved. Don't put your energy there. Put your energy on what you desire. Put your energy in that beach. Put your energy in peace. See how easy it is, Nora, and all of us. And Linda, you too, you know what it's like. A thought pops up and you think, oh, and you grab on it and you focus on it and you start to obsess about it and it gets bigger and bigger and all of your fears about what that might mean to you come up. Boom! There it is. Closed. Narrow focus. Got to open it up. And yeah, I can imagine it's not easy living in the States right now. Oh yeah. Let's not go there. Okay, let's go to the beach. So, how do you open your focus, right? Fantastic, Maddie. You're telling me that I can actually get out of my stress and my fear and my anxiety if I practice opening my focus. I know this is true. Morning, Seeing Marie. I know this is true because I have listened to my hero, Dr. Joe, talk about this, and they have hundreds, thousands of brain scans of people who went to an advanced workshop, right? And in 4 or 5 days, they had a very incoherent brain. They were deeply depressed, deeply anxious, and by the way, those two go together, usually one way or another. And at the end of 4 or 5 days, amongst other things, they had learned to open their focus, and the depression was gone. So I know this is true. The anxiety, crippling anxiety, gone. So I know that this is a fact. That's why I thought I would make this very brave statement that if you open your focus, if you practice, because you're not going to get it the first time, or if you do, whoopee, but go back again, because you've got to remodel your brain, you practice opening your focus. I know this is true. Yeah, I'll look at your comment properly, Steph, but you're quite right. Narrow focus. And I think with autistics, with autism, because there's so much fear and anxiety in the brain, because it's so incoherent, they're in fight or flight and they can't get out of it, right? So that's what happens. They just think, I need this thing that I've been obsessing about to make me feel better, and then they calm down. And they just don't have the ability to self-regulate so much as we can if we practice. So how do you open your focus? First of all, it really helps if you sit your body down, close your eyes, and put something calm and still in your ears. Stacey, it's great to see you. Jocelyn, good morning. Yeah, it clamps down on a hideous thought and it's done, but you can undo it. Magda, good morning. So, first of all, remove the external stimuli. Put your phone in aeroplane mode for a few minutes. Oh my God, turn it off. Disconnect. Realize that your body and brain are addicted to those stress hormones, and you're going to do that, and you're going to sit down, you're going to feel like crawling out of your skin. And that is you noticing your own addiction that you have been inhabiting unconsciously. You're going to notice your body's like, no, give me that, I want this. Right? It does. Now, I've said, how do you open your focus? So, we'll go back to the heart, right? So the first thing you can do is put your attention on your heart and breathe in and out of there a little bit. Get yourself a bit heart-centered. Remember, you've got to remove the external stimuli, because right now, if you're so used to getting yanked into a narrow focus so easily, it's not easy for you to do this with your eyes open. You actually have to remove the stimulus of the outside world that keeps on firing your brain up into that old state. Sit down, turn everything off, put on some very calm, quiet music. Music that encourages trance, to be honest. Music that doesn't have a beat and no words. Music that encourages you to feel space. And put your attention in your heart and breathe in and out of your heart and generate some of those positive emotions, right? That already helps to make your brain coherent. It does. If you do that enough, you'll get a very coherent brain. But today I want to talk about pushing the other lever. So this is how I do it. Now you have your awareness in your heart. And then I very consciously, and remember, I've practiced this. It used to be slow, it used to be difficult, it used to be awkward. I've got better at it. I very consciously, it's kind of like, it's a little bit like feeling yourself go cross-eyed, you know? You stop looking, stop paying attention to the physical thing, the centre of your chest, and put your attention in the space around it. Now try that. Close your eyes. Come on. And you're not even going to focus on the bear trap for the moment. Yeah, you just know that this is the key, is to get your attention off it. So put your attention in the space around you. Now, let's paint this in. I find this is helpful. Because some of us can't get out in the woods, Steph. You're right. Absolutely. Go out into the woods. But if you can't get out into the woods, you can do this sitting inside your little apartment that you haven't got out of for a month, right? It's absolutely available. Nature is great. It helps us open our focus, but we can do this ourselves. I want to make that really clear. Because for me, I used to go for a walk and I wouldn't leave any of the stress behind. It was just right inside my head, and I didn't know how to change my brain. So to start with, here's your heart. Put your awareness in the sense of space in front of your heart. Maybe 1 foot in front of your heart. Maybe a metre in front of your heart. Maybe out to the wall in front of you. Maybe outside the wall in front of you. Just put your awareness in front of you. Now, wherever you, and I mean, you know, some of you will just be straight out into the cosmos, but if you've never done this before, you have to give yourself a graduated experience. Oh, there's space in front of me. And of course, the thing is with space in front of you is when you start to pay attention, you realise that the space in front of you gets very wide. I mean, where does in front of you stop? In front of you actually starts to be beside you as well. It wraps around you, right? So you start to open your focus into the space maybe on your right side. So now you're paying attention to the space in front of you and the space on your right side. You know, it's like I feel like I'm literally pushing my attention out there. And if it helps you, you can pay attention to what you know the room is around you. But you also might just like to imagine that you're in infinite space. And there's nothing there except space. Oh, for me, because I know what that means to me, that's like, I can feel that in my brain. Just go, oh yeah, I'm in infinite space. So in all this space, however you're deciding what space you're sensing, you're aware of the space in front of you and the space on your right side. Now, why don't you see if you can keep that in your awareness and put your attention in the space on the left side as well. And it is a bit like crossing your eyes, right? Because you're looking everywhere at once, but you're not looking. This is really important. You are not looking. You are sensing. You're actually firing up a different part of your brain when you sense. It's called the cerebellum. It's the hindbrain, and it's the part of the brain where you be things rather than think or do or feel things. You just be it. So fire up your sensing of the space on the left side of you. However far out you want to go, you'll find it's limitless. You can go as far as you like. Into the black. Or outside, you know, if you prefer to be thinking of the room and the space outside the room and the city or the country where you are. Left and right in front of you. Can you now, and this is the part that I really love, and we're out of time, naturally. Can you now put your space behind you? The infinite unknown behind you. Go on, let it wrap around you. And you see, you're paying all this attention to this openness and this space around you. And I can feel, it's not just my brain that's feeling this, I can feel you calming down and getting opened out. And you open up into it. Open up. Open up. Feel that space. And it's like a huge, oh. Now here's the thing, you're starting to feel the space around you. It's like a donut, right? But it hasn't got sharp edges like a donut. I got to do this quick and then I got to go. What if that space that's around you goes up and it goes down? Because we've done all the, you know, the horizontal thing, right? Now just add vertical to that. Up and down. And it feels really good to just let your awareness linger in that space. You practice that, you start to have amazing things happen. Oh, I love it. I can feel you doing this. And again, yeah, if the sound of gongs sends you out into space, then listen to gongs. Very spacious sound indeed. Those ringing tones also do it for me. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And you see, if you now notice yourself and your awareness in that open space, it's definitely a little bit calmer, a little bit more still, a little bit clearer. Spirit Essence, is beautiful to see you just in time to say bye-bye, sweetheart. Enjoy the replay if you only just jumped on. This is really simple stuff, but it changes your brain, and over time it changes you. Very much love. It's Friday. The week has gone. And it's lasted forever, and it's been amazing. And it's been beautiful to share it with you. Thank you so much. Look out for resonant replays. And I'll see you Sunday, Monday. In glory. Bye for now. Much love.